Excuse me, could you point me in the direction of ScreamCity? Never mind, I think I found it.
Hello, horror freaks. Welcome back to Screams. I looked away for like a second. Welcome back to Scream City. I am your host, Jess.
And I'm Monica. And in today's episode, we will be discussing the 2008 film, The Strangers.
There's someone out there.
Okay, lock the door. Who is out there?
Who is out there?
I need to know.
And why?
And why? Because I did not invite anybody.
didn't.
Unless it is Uber
At
Eats.
4 in the morning.
Unless it is DoorDash. Me ordering.
Unless it's Mama Marie.
Unless it's Mama Marie knocking at my door. No, ma'am.
Knocking on my door. Then
thank you.
I don't know who. Anyway, before we continue on with the movie, let's go ahead and get life stuff out of the way.
Yes.
We had to miss a week because
We had to go
someone
hiatus.
had to
Jess.
get their cavity filled.
Jess.
Don't know who that could be.
Blowing us off for the dentist. How dare you put your health first?
I mean, it did look like I had lip filler for a day, and it was pretty
And
cool.
it was pretty
cool. I was like,
nice.
okay, maybe I should get it.
Was that your jump scare for last week?
No,
No?
but
Oh,
I'm gonna
Lord.
let you start it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't really a jump scare. It was just like when people come up to me and ask me about the podcast, I get very like, I clam up. I'm like, no, no.
Yeah.
But out of all people, my boss, like
Oh.
my actual like boss came up to me from one of my jobs, and he sounded very interested. And I was very confused because at first I was like, oh, maybe he's trying to start his own podcast.
Yeah,
Because he was like, okay, so like, how's
But,
like, how do you do it? Like, how does it work?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, and I kind of went in through like the whole spiel, but then he started talking to me about like movies, and then, I coincidentally he asked me what movie do I think is like the scariest movie of all time, and then I'm like, I
When
you
people
know
ask,
me,
I was asked maybe twice. I was asked this question twice this month, and I don't know. I feel like it's the same. It's the same thing as like getting asked. Oh, well, say something in Spanish. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
what do you want me to say?
yeah.
Because if I tell you it's the Barbie movie, then what are you gonna like?
Like,
what are you gonna do?
What are you
know
gonna
I mean?
do?
No, but
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
ever know what to tell people like when they ask me what movie do you think is the scariest movie you've ever seen, coming from someone who's seen so many scary movies.
Yeah.
But then it's like what scares me is not going to scare someone else who is also into horror movies.
yeah.
So, but I always have my answer ready for this one because it is kind of true. I mean, given I can still watch this movie with no problem.
Can I guess?
You can.
Okay. Well, because I have one too.
Is it the Barbie movie? It's the B movie.
It's the B movie.
It's the B movie.
For you, I'm gonna guess your go-to answer is probably The Exorcist.
Oh my gosh, see, it was for so long.
Okay.
So long it was, and I was so close to saying that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually The Strangers.
Ah, that's so crazy.
And I told him, I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm going to have to go with The Strangers. I was like, it's kind of like your typical home invasion movie, but at the same time, it's not because I feel like it's way more sinister and it's a little too real.
Mhm.
And I was like, and it just freaks me out. And then I told him, about the whole line of like, and I was like, and the girl in the movie is like, oh my God, why are you doing this to us? And I was like, and the one line that they just give is because they were home.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh wow. And I was like, chilling, isn't it? But anyway, but then I told him about like, connecting it with that, I told him about your favorite line I think it's House of October Built. The one that you're always talking about how the
Yes.
worst monsters are
always here. You know what? Real quick, give me a second because
it is very fitting.
We always
It is very
I always
fitting.
quote it, and
And
I
you
don't
didn't even
even quote it correctly.
Well, not only that, but you didn't quote
Um,
it for the last episode
Oh, you're so right.
because
Okay.
it was just.
I have it
also-
pulled up. I'm not afraid of werewolves or vampires or haunted houses. I'm afraid of what real human beings do to other human beings. Bars. Walter John Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
Okay, Mr.
Hey,
Williams.
A.
left 0 crumbs.
Absolutely. But no, yeah. And
Yeah.
so that was only my jump scare because, again, I get very like, don't talk to me about my podcast because then I feel like you're going to come up to me and tell me you hate it.
No,
I can take hate very well behind a screen, but you talk to my face, I'm gonna cry.
A really funny thing is, I also had someone in leadership tell me that.
So weird.
Yeah, I mean,
So weird.
but it's cool.
I love that. But what about your jump scare?
My jump scare. Also, real quick, can I just say my go-to answer is, for now, Incident in a Ghostland.
Incident in a Ghostland is pretty scary.
I think I left that movie a completely different person.
Oh, I did too. I don't know. There's also just something about, it also has the elements that you don't like of like psychoanalyzation.
Yes. Psychoanalyzation.
Of being psycho. You know what I mean? I forgot the word for it. What is it called?
Psychoanalyzing?
Like,
or
no, but like
psychological.
Psychological. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it has those elements, and I know you hate them, but this movie is very heavy on psychological.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about your jump scare though?
I don't even know where to start.
Okay. Start at the beginning.
I had a PA in the car, panic attack.
Oh,
what is that? I haven't had one in a million years. And I think I was due for one.
Oh,
obviously.
no.
It was terrible. I hated it.
In the car of all places.
In the car of all places. I was driving. I pulled over.
Yeah. Had to.
Yeah. I think that's really much it, but it was a really tough one.
No, that's pretty spooky.
But like 5 minutes afterwards, I pulled up to my destination, which was the movie theater, so that I could watch Abigail.
I love that for you.
Good movie.
Well, I'm sorry about your panic attack. That's not fun. But I'm glad you got to see a movie afterwards to get your mind off of it.
My eyes were like puffy red, and I was just like watching.
You were like, oh my God. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the movie. Now, we mention it in every episode, but there will be spoilers. There, I said it very fast. I ripped it off like a Band-Aid. So don't say that we didn't warn you.
It also came out
It also literally came out 3 million
years ago.
Oh, okay.
No.
That too.
I meant to say 700, but 7 came out, but it wasn't 7 years ago.
7 million years ago is when it came out. So if you have not seen it, you need to watch it because this movie is pretty, honestly, terrorizing. It's pretty scary. But I'm going to give you a brief summary, okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. A young couple staying in an isolated vacation home are terrorized by 3 unknown assailants. Not me not knowing how to read.
Assailant.
Assail.
Because it's like sail.
Assail ants. The ants are sailing.
The ants have sailed.
The ants have sailed and it's over.
It's over.
Anyway. All right.
Great job.
By 3 masked people.
By 3 masked.
I call them a family, but they might not be.
I don't think. I mean, that would be a hobby.
That could
be
That'd
like
be a family bonding activity for the longest time.
Yeah.
Good.
Now that we have that out of the way,
Yes.
Monica.
That's me.
I want to know your first impression first.
Yes.
Your favorite scene.
Yes.
And your favorite spook. We do get kills, but I think we get more spooks than kills in this movie, if you know what I mean.
Okay. My first impression. I don't remember. I watched this movie with someone, I think.
Oh.
I don't remember who. Could have been my ghost friend. I don't remember. I remember watching it at night, and I remember it being dark. I can't remember if I or we were home alone, whichever it was. I don't know.
You weren't home alone.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up. And I think for that, it made my experience with this movie a lot more scary. I don't remember who I watched this when I watched it with. I do remember just ending up like showing it to a lot of people and being like, watch this and tell me this isn't fucking scary. Okay. And I love all of the like feedback that I get when I show them this movie. Because the times that I've showed people this movie, I either get like a Yeah, it was pretty scary. Like, I would also be terrified by some just random masked people literally terrorizing me out in the middle of nowhere. Literally.
Just because?
Just because. And then I get the other ones that are like, yeah, it was pretty scary. Like, but whatever.
Nothing significant.
And they're like, oh, that wouldn't have happened to me. And I'm like, shut up.
That's what you say.
That's what you say. Anyway. But yeah, so I actually really, really love / hate this movie. To this day, it is one of the scariest movies that I have seen, and I have seen quite a bit of different home invasion movies, but just nothing hits and nothing gives me the chills like this movie does. Yeah. To this day. So my first impression probably has a lot to do with maybe how I react to this movie now, but either way, I love it. I love this movie for putting the scare in me, and also for being just an overall really great early 2000s movie. Mm-hmm. I feel like for a horror movie, I think it's super great. It's like, it is kind of a typical slasher, but it's also not. Like, it's also a lot more sinister and scary. But I also hate it because it gives me the scares, and it's very scary. My favorite scene, there are so many scenes that I genuinely love for this movie, and I love them all. But I'm going to have to go with a scene that's practically a spook. But it's when we see for the first time the man in the mask in the house in the background.
Oh my God, I love that scene.
The very first time that we see him. I do love
that scene.
Yeah, my girl has been talking, or she's been knocking over and over, asking for, I think it's Tamara. And we're like, who the fuck is Tamara? Mm-hmm. And Kristen has been like walking around, smoking a cigarette, feeling very like, oh my God, I'm scared. Like, I feel like she's out to get me or something. And he's already in the house. He's already in the house watching her. And the scene that we get is basically the movie poster. So it's like her and then him in the background, very much blurred. And you can only really see his mask, and it's terrifying. Burlap sack with holes. That's it. Now my favorite spook, I'm gonna have to. So I'm gonna be basic and say 2. Well, 1 for the whole reveal of them taking off their masks, and then of course Kristen asking why they're doing this, and they give the line of because you were home. Terrifying chills down my spine. What is it? Scary, spooky skeleton.
Scary, spooky
skeleton.
Scary skeleton sends shivers down your spine.
It literally, that is what exactly that line gives me, and I'm gonna get it tattooed on my arm. It is it's only 4 words, but it made such an impact, and that's what I love so much about that. But if I'm not going to choose that scene because it's kind of an overall classic, I'm gonna have to choose the scene where Kristen. it's a jump scare, but it's the scene where Kristen pulls the curtains aside.
Oh, because
she's like about to stab, or I don't know, she's trying to see what's behind it, and the masked man is like right behind the window, but he's like so close, and she just starts yelling so hard. She's a scream queen. Love her. This movie does rely heavily kind of on like jump scares, but I kind of don't mind it, and I don't hate it. And I know that's what some people don't like, but I don't know. This is one of the movies I can't really do wrong in my eyes. I just love it. I love it so much. What about you?
So, crazy story.
Love.
I also don't remember my first time watching this because it was also a million years ago.
Exactly.
But I can tell you what I feel about it now.
Love.
What I feel about it now is it's a phenomenal movie.
I love this movie so much.
I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but I thought the writing, I know I'm annoying, but I focus a lot on the writing now.
Yeah.
I thought the writing was really good. I liked how the beginning starts. Like, I like how the beginning starts with them in the car. Mm-hmm. Like, they're obviously both visibly upset by something. Like, there's a tear rolling down Kristen's face. And then
they're kind of like really awkward in the car too. Yeah. Like, they're just the vibe is not vibing.
Yeah. But I think the movie overall was like written really well.
I think so
and
too.
It's very spooky.
Again, for like an early 2000s movie where they were like slashers were at its peak, and we're talking like franchises and remaking of like classic originals and everything. So the fact that something like a home invasion like this came out during that time, I don't know, phenomenal.
And Your Next came out like came out like maybe
I think like a couple years after that.
this.
Yeah.
But I was gonna discuss this like through like with the movie.
Yeah.
But something else that I really enjoyed was, what did I enjoy?
What did I enjoy actually?
I don't think this is what I was gonna say, but anyway. Oh yes, I like how in this movie, you mentioned like that they do rely on jump scares, which is true. But what I appreciate is that when there are jump scares, they don't blast loud ass fucking music on top of it.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think it builds more suspense and thriller. Like that iconic scene, for example, of him showing up right behind her.
Oh my gosh.
I was expecting, to
like something to pop up or
like some loud ass fucking noise, but no. And I think that makes it even creepier.
I was gonna say the subtle art of just silence.
Yeah,
and like
literally.
no speaking. It's scary.
Quite literally.
Favorite scene?
My favorite scene. I have a whole list
too many to choose from. I know they're all so great.
My favorite scene is honestly, I think I'm gonna have to steal yours. Wait, actually, I think yours was. I don't know. Anyway, the iconic one with the movie poster.
It's so good.
It is. It's creepy as
like
fuck.
it is so creepy.
And you know what I was just thinking 5 seconds ago is when, like, since they didn't add the music, you get a sense that you're there with her.
Yes, and you're like, bitch, turn around right now.
Like, yes, we as the audience can see him.
Yeah.
But if we were in her position, we wouldn't be able to hear him because that's how silent. Like,
he's so
he wasn't
quiet.
even moving.
No.
So yeah,
no, it's scary, and it's such a good scene, and I think it stays there.
Yeah,
like it stays in that shot for like a good, I don't know, like 5-6 seconds.
Yeah,
but just that much is enough for me to be like, I'm good. I've seen enough.
My favorite spook. What's that? No,
that was spooky. We just had a really weird sound.
Yeah,
coming from a dog.
My favorite spook was I don't remember where in the movie. I mean, this was later in the movie. I think it was after Mike had already died. But where Liv is like running away from the masked guy, and she's about to enter a room, and he just like snatches her up.
Oh my gosh!
That shit was scary.
That was actually very scary.
That was actually really scary.
Yes. Because how he just pick her up with one arm.
Yeah. Okay. Me when.
Okay.
Me when. No, I'm just kidding. But
okay, but like next time, let that be me.
Yeah, I mean, in like a role play type of thing,
right?
Not in like not in like a for real type of thing.
Love.
But that was creepy. That was scary.
I love that.
I might have jumped a little bit. I liked that one, and then I think there's another scene that I'm thinking about, but this one may also just go with my favorite scene, not so much spook. But I also really like the scene where Kristen and what's his name? James. Kristen and James are sitting down, like tied up and everything, and we just see the 3 masked people in front of them.
First of all, there's like the shot that there is like of exactly that. It's like the camera is like behind Kristen and James like sitting down, and we're like facing the 3 of them together. Mm-hmm. And if you really look at it, the man in the mask, he looks so frumped up, like he's just standing there like, hey. It just looks so funny.
His eyes looked really funny in the mask. I don't know why.
I'm telling you, it's the burlap sack with just the holes. It's so funny. But anyway.
But yeah.
No, good. I love that. I love that.
Me.
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you were home.
And just like that, I'm moving out. Because what the fuck you mean? What do you mean?
I don't even know how I would feel or act.
And I think what adds to that line of it giving so much chills is, so they're like standing in front of them in that scene, and then they take off their masks and we see them, and they're just like, I think that's like the worst part, because it's kind of like they kind of set up the scene for like a sense of reveal of like, oh my gosh, like, are the characters going to recognize them? Like, oh my God, they were at the wedding, or, you know, like something that's kind of out there, but they didn't. And I think that's what's worse is that they look just like ordinary people. They look like they could be a family, which was my impression the whole time, but they probably weren't. And like, that's just what's so like insane, and what I think what sets in kind of the reality of it can happen, unfortunately. But it's just so scary. Like they're just random people chilling.
You know, since I had watched this before, I knew the answer to what I'm about to say. But watching it back recently, if I would have watched this for the first time consciously, right?
Right.
I probably would have been suspicious of James being in the loop, because how is it that, like, you know, a man in like a suit jumps in your window or whatever, and then she's calling him and she's like,
and then like,
and then he just comes in,
he just
like
shows
nothing,
up like
nothing happened,
like if they weren't bothering him on the
Yeah.
outside. And like that's what makes it so insane is that like they just get to pick and choose how they play their own game, and like not really mattering. That is literally what an actual psychopath and like how they act, and it's so scary. It's just terrifying. But discussing a little bit more of the movie and just some different scenes. Mike's death, R.I.P. It was so sad.
It was so frustrating.
It was so
I hate
frustrating
scenes like that.
So sad. And it's like, what the saddest thing is that the minute he pulls up, it's like,
Yeah.
like, and it's just so freaking sad. And I think what makes that scene even worse is, first of all, they showed his face, which pretty cool. But it's the fact that James noticed that he's like, why wasn't he wearing a mask? And then she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, he wasn't wearing a fucking mask. And then he like goes and he's like literally crying over his dead body. And then he tries to prevent Kristen from seeing, because she's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He like tackles her to the floor and he's like, no, you can't. Don't watch. Don't go over there. It's Mike. It's so sad. So sad. And it's, it's not his fault. He was also wearing a suit.
Yeah.
He just wasn't wearing a burlap sack.
Yeah.
But it's so sad. But I think that, again, adds a little bit to the kill count, a little bit, and part of the slasher.
Number one, too.
Yeah.
Number one of two.
Number one of two. That's
probably one.
Well, no, because she. Wait, what are you talking about?
There's only 2 kills, right?
Technically, yeah. Because James dies at the end. Well, at least assuming so. And then at the very, very last second of the movie, she like grabs the boy.
Right.
And she's like,
But here's the thing about me. Movies that start off with a scene or some sort of like, I don't know, spoiler at the very beginning, I'm very like hesitant about. I've seen this a couple times. The most recent one was Picture of Dorian Gray, which is such a random movie, but I don't know. So whenever I saw this one, I was like, okay, but like whenever the first scene where the little boys come in, and we're like, okay, whatever. But I don't want to sound hypocritical because Evil Dead Rise does do
that.
But it's different. Okay.
Well, not only that, but like also X does it too. There's Texas Chainsaw Massacre also kind of does it the same way. Oh my
It's been a
gosh.
minute.
Whatever, fake fan. Yeah. And I think it's just to kind of help set up the suspense a little bit of exactly what it is that you're like. Yes, you're expecting kind of someone to die.
Yeah.
They don't exactly show you who, so they give you kind of the suspense of like, is it this person? Is it that? Is it something really random? Like, I don't know. It kind of helps set up the scene and the theme, I guess, obviously. But I don't know. I think overall it's not too bad. But they also say that it was like based off of
a true
events, which like is even more scary.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, how true?
But
like true.
I mean, I didn't do any further research on this, but it could also be like one of those like Blair Witch type of things where it's like it's not real. It's like the movie
it's real,
could
but it's not real.
The movie could say that it's based on true events, which I don't doubt for a fucking
Oh no,
second that
100%.
this
This
has
is
happened.
yeah,
But
100%.
yeah, you never know.
I'm pretty sure that somewhere out there this is
This
based off
happened.
of some.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel, and this is just me, but I feel like there were plenty of times where they could have escaped.
Oh, I agree.
They were literally outside at one point, and I know that they couldn't really feel like they could run to any certain place because they were kind of they were in a truck. They could have just ran them over. Like the killers were in a truck, and so they like slashed all the tires. They broke the windows to their car and stuff. But I'm like, you were literally out in the middle of nowhere, and like you chose to go to your garage to speak into a radio that actually got you caught. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. That's just me. I feel like I would have kept running.
I feel like at
Shoot
this
me.
point, I mean, not really at this point because I've had this thought for a really long time. But I feel
Very long time.
I feel like after all these movies that I've watched, I'm never in 1,000 years going to book or rent a house or an Airbnb in the middle
Never.
of fucking nowhere.
Never, ever.
I will
ever.
have neighbors that are 2 centimeters away from me. You know,
I want to touch windows.
Yes, I want to touch hands with them. Actually,
No, 100%. I think the setting of this is obviously also like very eerie and scary, and just renting out because the thought of renting out a cabin out in the middle of nowhere is supposed to be something that's peaceful and like serenity, and I mean, they were supposed to have a romantic kind of weekend type thing because he was supposed to ask her to marry him, and she said no.
he did.
Well, he did, but she rejected him.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be something, kind of for the feels and supposed to be a nice time. And it turns out it's not, because someone has been kind of keeping an eye on that cabin or house or whatever it is. But scary.
Yeah.
Very, very scary.
Very.
Any other things?
Do a couple give me like two
more
more
things.
things.
Love.
Okay.
Love.
Number 1, will you just stay on the phone with me? Ends call. That my favorite.
He
I
said,
mean,
absolutely not goodbye.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they cut off the phone.
First of all, this was in the early 2000s. He probably couldn't afford his minutes.
that's true.
He probably couldn't afford his minutes. He said, "Baby girl, no." He said,
no, I can't stay on the phone
I
with
literally
you.
cannot. That's $30.
Yeah.
That's $30 I cannot afford. Goodbye.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny.
It was
like
funny.
I think that was a pretty comedic scene.
I love it.
The random shots in slow motion. How do you feel about them?
I was just vibing.
They were so.
They
funny
were
to
a little
me.
kind of like, okay,
like
all right.
like definitely early 2000s, 1,000% giving
kind
early
of trying to make
2000s.
it like a woo.
like yeah.
But it was kind of, now watching it, you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Um.
You were doing something, I guess.
Last thing. Just kidding. That's it.
That's it.
That's-
Okay. Well, this movie's great. I love this movie.
No, me too.
I love this movie so much. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think this is definitely one of my like top 5, top 10 movies that I will forever stand by.
It's spooky.
I love this movie so much. It's scary.
There was one last thing that I wanted to
Love.
mention.
Name it.
And it's gonna go segue into our cast. Super random, but as
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this movie back again, I thought that Sunny
Spit it out.
Sandler, Sunny Sandler, Adam Sandler's daughter, looked so much like Liv Tyler.
Really?
Yes,
I don't
If you
think I've
put
ever
them
seen her. What
to
is her name?
personally-
Sunny?
Sunny Sandler. Yeah,
Sunny. Oh, she's the one that made the little movie.
the little movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched.
She does
the
kind of
movie.
look like her.
I watched the movie. That's why But I think it's like the
love
way that
that.
they pout they pout their lips.
Kind of like a.
like I don't even know. But anyway, super random.
I feel like when
what
I
about
watched the movie, she was giving Jennifer Garner. I think she looked a lot like Jennifer Garner when I watched this movie, and I still kind of see it when I watch this movie.
There was someone else that I was
that's what I
thinking
got.
of when I was watching this movie.
Yeah, she's kind of
Probably
like a mix of all people.
Like Lexi Gray from Grey's Anatomy.
I
I kind of got that first. For
Okay.
like a
yeah.
second.
Yeah. Good. I love it. Well,
Anyway,
you want to go ahead and
I will go ahead and get into the cast. Thank y'all.
actually
Speaking of Grey's Anatomy,
shut the hell up. No, he's not.
No, yes.
Who is he?
I'm pretty sure he's.
Whatever. Is he a doctor?
I think.
You sure?
I think.
Because if he's like a patient in like 2 episodes, he does not count.
Anyway, he's still in Grey's Anatomy. I forgot.
Okay.
But anyway, Scott Speedman, if you didn't already catch the drift. Scott Speedman. My bad. Speedman. I know him first from Animal Kingdom. Great show. I shouldn't have watched it at like 14 or 15. It's still great. Great actor. Super handsome. I love him.
And he plays
James Hoyt in this movie.
in this movie, yes.
Really funny story that happened today.
Is it funny?
Yes, I was looking up the cast at work today, and one of my doctors comes up, and I'm looking at Scott Speedman's like Google thing, right? And she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm looking at the cast of The Strangers. She goes, "Mm-hmm." And I'm like, I really am. But I am also appreciating Scott's.
He's a handsome fellow.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
I always get him and someone else confused. I forgot.
He looks like every white man.
All right. Liv Tyler as Kristen McKay. Gemma Ward as Dollface.
She's the blonde in the mask.
She's
the one that was looking.
Tamara.
Is Tamara here?
Girl, no.
No, fuck
Get
off.
the fuck. Anyway.
What kind of name is Tamara anyway? What's her last name?
Exactly. Maybe
I may know her.
Yeah.
Shit, let me pull up my yearbook.
Facebook.
Let me pull up her Facebook. I'll find her for you, honey.
Alex Fisher as Mormon Boy number 1.
Okay.
Mormon Boy number 1.
Numero uno.
Don't they have names?
One is Jordan.
Yeah.
But I don't know which one that is.
Anyway, I don't know who Jordan is, but he's one of these two.
Yeah.
Peter Clayton Luce as Mormon Boy number 2.
Okay, what a biblical name. Peter Clayton Lucifer.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Kip Weeks as Man in Mask.
Scary man.
Laura Margulis as Pinup Girl.
She's so pretty.
She's really pretty.
Wow.
And Rip to the character, not the actor, I think. Glenn Howerton as Mike.
He's handsome too.
He's pretty handsome.
Okay.
I thought he was pretty cute in the movie too.
Yeah, he was.
The
cast is great.
Yeah.
The cast is great. I will say Liv and Scott, chemistry.
Number 1.
Chemistry.
But they had, the rent was due.
Oh, rent was due 100%.
Rent was due. It was 2008. So wasn't 2008 the recession?
Was it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either.
But if it was.
Oh, wait, yes. I think it was.
If it was, that would make sense.
That was when our life fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so right.
Okay. Yeah.
Period. Yeah, I think that was a yeah. Rent was due for
rent was due for sure.
For sure. And the people who like Laura, who played the pinup girl, Mr. Kip Weeks, and Gemma Ward also ate. Y'all are insane in the membrane, and I appreciate y'all for scaring me to death. So, great cast.
Great cast.
Love them.
Love that.
Can I have one?
Are you a sinner?
Sometimes.
Girl, you
and
know
what if I told you
damn well all the time.
And what if I told you yes?
What was you going to do?
What was you going to do?
Call Jesus upon me.
She got Jesus on speed dial.
Sure do. Because that was probably a Sunday when that happened.
A Sunday.
Because weddings happen on like Fridays or Saturdays.
Right.
So assuming they just got through torturizing them on Saturday, they got in their little truck and they was on their way to go see Pastor Richard.
Sunday morning to see Pastor Richard and be like, yo, you're not going to believe.
You're not going to believe.
Oh,
last night was a movie.
Last night was quite literally a movie called The Strangers 2008. But yeah, no, that's crazy.
I was like, girl, shut your ass up. You know damn well it's all the time, but okay.
And you're not.
Absolutely, every day.
Hello, damn.
That little boy?
Oh,
she starts fighting with him. Yeah. Okay, and you're not. Why are you out here judging people?
For real.
He's like, I'm just here to pass these out, ma'am.
Anyway,
okay.
Moving along with the episode, I think it's time to play a little game.
How dare you?
That we
You're singing
like
on your
to
own.
call.
You're singing on your own.
Wait, yeah. what we like to call Would You Rather? Yeah.
You have to find the pitch.
Sure. Anyway, so for this Would You Rather, Would You Rather, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Play a cat and mouse game with an intruder, unsure if you'll survive, or escape the intruder, but something smells really good.
What kind of deep breath?
I don't know. It smells like fruity or something. Dang, leave me alone.
Get out of here.
Or escape the intruder, but realize they're still following / stalking you. So it's kind of giving Haunt.
Oh my goodness.
In a way.
It is kind of giving Haunt. Oh, I love that movie too.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. Brother, ooh. I'm going to choose. I'm going to play the cat and mouse game.
A little adrenaline in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Will I survive? Tune in. I don't know.
Tune in.
Shit, might be season 2. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna play the.
The cat and mouse.
I'm gonna play the cat and
Tom
mouse
and
game.
Jerry.
Yes, ma'am. Because I'm gonna let my ego win in this one and say that I'm a win. I'm a win, and I'm gonna find a way to escape it.
Here's the thing about me. As I love me a good God complex. I do. But the thing about realizing that my intruder is still following me / stalking me.
You're like, oh my God, stop.
Oh, so you're obsessed
Okay,
with
so
me.
you're obsessed with me, and I will be getting a restraining order, but like it's okay if you break it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like I won't
I won't call the cops.
I won't call the cops just because.
Not a
like,
second
why are you
time. Not a
so
second
obsessed
time.
with
For
me?
sure. For sure.
They're literally so obsessed with me.
You're like,
So yeah, I mean, my God complex plays into both.
It does,
in a
heavily.
way.
so I think you should choose the other one.
What
The letting or thinking you escape the intruder, but
they're still
they're
following
actually
me.
still following you. I think you should just choose it
I'll choose it for funsies.
for fun.
Only if the intruder / my stalker is
Someone like Joseph Quinn.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say Joseph Quinn.
Oh, who were you gonna say?
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Don't worry.
okay. Are you sure you're choosing that one?
Only if the intruder is someone that I get to choose.
Harry Styles,
Sure.
Niall Horan,
Yes.
the whole One Direction band
Actually,
in
all of
burlap
One
sack.
Direction in burlap sacks. Yes.
In burlap sack
Even in the doll
masks.
masks and everything.
Oh, period.
I just
Niall
throw
would
my
eat that
hair
one.
up in a messy bun. I go downstairs to get myself
Every
some
single
breakfast
one of them are
and
just
realize that my mother has just sold me to One Direction.
Oh, that's
You would understand if you were on Wattpad in 2012.
okay. I'm glad I wasn't.
Well, you missed out.
Any hoozles. That was good. That was good.
good.
I
That
like
was
that one.
easy.
That
Easy
one is a
one.
little easy one, but I liked it.
Me too. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Are we good? Are we
Oh,
settled?
we're good. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I
your
had to
turn.
let my legs breathe, but
Understood,
I got
understood.
scared, so I'm
Oh.
gonna pick them back up. What if
Who-
there's something underneath my seat?
like what or
I don't
who?
know. A little Grinch.
What if it's
The burlap sack man?
yeah?
No, thank y'all. No,
All
thank
right.
you.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay, let's go ahead and rate this movie before we end the episode.
I
Now
love
this-
rating movies. Just have to say that. Go ahead.
Now, this is a horror movie, so we will use our 2 scales, our satisfactory and scary, because just because a horror movie is good does not always mean it is scary, and vice versa.
Vice versa.
So, Monica.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God,
Hola.
saludos a la quinceañera.
Saludos.
Saludos a la
Al quinceañera. Boom, boom, boom,
quinceañera.
boom.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. We
Okay,
should
great.
Okay. What do you rate this movie, Monica?
Okay. So, get this.
Uh-huh.
My scary scale.
Okay.
10
0.
out of 10.
Oh.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Scary. Now, listen, do I mean it's scary? Like, if I were to watch it today on my own, in the dark, lights off, no one's home, will I be needing a diaper? Yes, because I will be pissing my pants with fear. But Like but I'm able to like honestly being like so
I mean,
being like so real.
say it with your
I can
chest.
watch this movie on my own. I can watch it during the day. I can watch it during at night. And like, yes, I'm always going to feel that sense of like scare, spook. That after I finish watching this movie, I need to turn the light on to every hallway. This is the movie that left me with that type of like that eeriness of like the after effect that you get after movies, that after you watch it you're like, it wasn't that bad, and then later on you're like,
and then you get it afterwards.
like you're telling me that if I see the burlap sack man standing in my kitchen in the middle of the night with no lights on, what am I going to do then? That's it.
Kill
That's the end of my life.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not going to give him satisfaction.
But
But that's what I mean. Like it's scary to me. And also like home invasion in general, I think is like so terrifying to me. And so the fact that again, horror picks up on like these what is it, like fear, the horror picks on the fears and makes it into something like a movie, and you know, kind of picks on that fear even more. And it's terrifying to me, and home invasion is scary.
I agree.
Don't come into my safe space.
I didn't invite you.
I did not invite you. You did not make an appointment with me.
What's that one movie with Dave Bautista and Rupert Grint and
Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Yes, it is.
Is it? It's
Yes.
not Dave Bautista
Di-
and Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley.
That's literally Cabin in the Woods. It is
No,
What movie is it?
no, not at all.
Then what are you talking about?
It's definitely not.
Like it's
It's
literally
Knock at the
Cabin
Cabin.
Oh, what did I say?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, same thing.
Not really.
Same difference.
Anyway.
You know what I mean.
Do I?
You know what I mean.
Anyway.
Also, he's in Dune.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I love Dave Bautista. I love him so much.
I love him.
I love him so much. Knock at the Cabin. That's
Knock
what I
at the
meant,
Cabin.
y'all.
I don't think that's what you
know
meant.
damn well it has the word cabin in it. It has the word cabin in it.
But my thing though is how confident you were.
I
in
did say that
saying
very confidently.
Cabin in the
I
Woods.
did. See,
You were looking at me like I was crazy. I was like,
I was looking at you like you were crazy. Cabin. See, my
ver.
lips and my voice were saying cabin in the woods, but my brain literally was saying knock at the cabin because I was literally picturing that movie poster.
yeah,
And I was also picturing the book cover.
right.
So I was like, it's literally
Yeah,
my brain was saying knock at the cabin. My mouth was
They
saying
were
cabin in the
just-
woods.
sure. Okay. Anyway,
Period.
all of
Anyway,
this just to say,
Dave Bautista is great.
yeah, yeah.
Love you, man.
Home invasion movies are
No, yeah,
scary.
home invasion in movies are definitely terrifying, especially like in a horror element. So for me, this movie genuinely is a 10 out of 10. If you don't find this movie scary, that's on you. That's okay. You don't have to find this movie scary, but just know that I think of you differently. Okay. Satisfactory, I'm also giving it a 10 out of 10.
Just
The
like me.
horror,
A 10 out of 10.
okay. Just because this movie was made so greatly, and because the horror freak in me loves to be spooked by my own fears in movie form, and that's exactly what this movie is. And I love it so much. So 10 out of 10 satisfactory. 10 out of 10 for satisfactory, 10 out of 10 for scary. I had to swallow my words again because I just didn't spit them out right the first time. I'm done talking. What about you?
Okay,
What are you rating this movie?
Scary, easy.
10 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Hello?
Hi.
Hola.
No, I'm joking.
Scary,
I'm joking.
scary.
I kid. A lot of One Direction references. Anyway, scary. 8 out of 10. No. 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. That's a pretty high score.
However much I gave Your Next, up it by 1.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
I think
Wait,
you
what?
I think you gave it a
dock it
7.5.
down. Dock it by. I did not give. For scary?
Maybe it was
I
a
don't
6.5.
Listen, I don't know. Anyway, 7 out of 5. 7.7. See, you're transferring it over
I'm
to
giving
me.
it
It's
to you.
contagious.
I
I
don't
don't like
want
it. 7/7.5.
Okay.
for scary.
Okay.
Satisfactory, 8.5.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
this
nothing
movie's great.
bad.
No, I love this movie.
You know.
I love this movie. Okay.
No,
Ay,
Happy
ay,
Earth
ay.
Day.
Happy Earth Day. Today is Earth Day.
Today is Earth Day, and we stand with her.
We stand with
We
her.
stand with the Earth because
Her and all her thickness.
What'd you say?
All her and all her thickness.
Her thick.
Mhm.
Thick. Oh,
Thick. What?
Okay.
You think the Earth is flat?
No, I'm just. I just
Nor.
thought that was an interesting.
Nor.
Interesting stuff.
Anyway.
Well, guys, I think this concludes this week's episode on The Strangers.
Yes.
2008.
Yes.
As always, if today's episode intrigued you and you haven't watched this movie yet,
You need to.
and would like to, if you like, I'm giving you an option. She's not.
I'm not. You need to watch this if you've never watched it.
You can watch it with a subscription on HBO Max. I still call it HBO Max.
HBO
because I
Max.
hate change.
Mm-hmm.
Or a premium subscription on Hulu, Amazon Prime, or YouTube. I personally watched it on HBO Max.
Same.
Or you can rent it for about $3.99
$3.99.
on Vudu or Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm falling asleep, y'all. Anyway,
time.
guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Scream City.
Woo.
We appreciate.
Okay.
Someone's possessing me.
Oh.
We appreciate you guys taking the time to listen and watch us, hopefully, on YouTube and all that good stuff. And of course,
Support means the
support,
world.
you know,
Love. Support.
send us like a high five or send us like a thumbs
Yeah.
up or massage our backs sometime.
What?
You know,
just kind of throw in
show us appreciation.
something. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anyway,
no, we really appreciate
we
you guys.
do
You guys are great.
appreciate you guys. Y'all mean the world to us. Blah yada yada. You already know.
You already know.
you
I'm not
already
good with
know.
affection.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a review or sharing it with your friends and family. And if you want to keep up with us, guess what? We will have our social media in the down bar.
You already know.
Unless I don't know if down bars exist on Spotify or Apple. So in
They
that
probably
case,
do.
If I
think
don't.
they
I mean,
do.
I think it's. I don't even know.
You do because you can scroll. You can click the little
Is
arrow
the down
to
bar
go down.
is the summary subscription. Yeah, right. Anyway,
I would think so.
whatever.
Well,
That's
yeah,
all for
no,
me.
For like, and that's the end of my part.
Mhm. That's the end of my script.
Thank you guys so much. We seriously can't thank you guys enough. Now, if you really enjoyed this episode and you would like to join us for the next episode, well, you should, because we are going to talk about The Quiet Place from 2018. This all of a sudden turned into ASMR.
No.
Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut the cameras. No,
Yeah,
we're gonna be reviewing The Quiet Place of 2018, and I'm excited. I love The Quiet Place.
No, me too.
I love / hate it, and I will go into detail as to why. And I actually do remember my first time watching this movie, so I'm excited.
I don't.
2018,
Oh,
baby.
damn, that was the longest time ago. Let's see here. I graduated high school.
Damn, you old.
I know, right? I can only imagine the people who graduated before me being like,
Shut the hell up.
super even
Anyway,
older.
The Quiet Place is so good, and John Krasinski is so fine, but so is Emily Blunt.
Mhm.
So imagine doing a movie with your spouse.
I know.
Your fine ass
I
spouse
mean,
at that.
What's her name? Mary. No, had a little lamb.
Mary had
Melissa McCarthy and her
yeah.
husband. And I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm blanking on your name.
Her husband?
Her, no, I mean, yes, her husband is also an actor, but the other couple I'm thinking of that does movies together is Jesse Plemons, and she was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Kristen Dunst?
Yes.
Oh, I
my
love
God,
her. Love
I just
her.
saw them, both
Queen.
of them on Civil War.
Oh,
Such a good
Queen.
movie.
Love. I didn't
Um,
even realize she was in Civil War, so I'm really really excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. Anyway,
Anyway,
yes, we're going to talk about The Quiet
Yeah.
Place, and I'm excited. I'm excited to deep dive into that one. Also, we didn't even talk about or even mention it. I don't know how to feel about them remaking The Stranger. Well, they're not remaking it. It's the remaking. They're doing
Like a
chapter 1. It's like a
prequel.
prequel to The Strangers. And the only thing that I have my only bone to pick with the preview that I saw and that I see whenever I go to the movies, is there's a scene where it looks like the pinup girl is kind of like hugging and being all caressed and stuff by the man in the burlap sack. And to me, it's kind of giving either they're going to show them be a little bit more like psychotic and kind of a little bit more crazy, or they're trying to kind of empathize them in a way because it's like, they're still people. But I was like, that's kind of the whole point of The Strangers is the fact that yes,
That
they're people, but
we
like
shouldn't
they don't
feel
give a
sympathy
fuck.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, like in this case, there's no sympathy for the type of people that do this kind of thing. So I don't really know how to feel about it. I do love the redhead who's in the movie.
Madeline something.
Something. I don't really know her full name, but she's really pretty and she's actually really good at screaming. She's a good scream king. So I don't know how to feel. I'm still kind of on the fence. Am I gonna watch it? Yes, of course. We'll probably review it. But I, just putting that out there.
Nice.
So I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know. Anyway.
Love that. All right. Well, before we end this episode,
Yes.
before I ask you a question, I have another question. Any
Okay,
other last
2
pending
questions.
thoughts?
Thoughts and
about
prayers,
the
girl.
movie? You kind of already mentioned a last thought that you had. Anything else?
I did. That was my only last thought.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. So I thought it was a pretty good movie. Moving on. Before we end the episode, I can't speak. Before we end the episode, Monica, I have a question for you.
That is me, and I love questions.
Of course.
Some, not all.
Do you think?
I don't think.
Yeah, I know.
Actually. I just know.
Do you think this week's movie was a movie?
I personally think that this week's movie was a movie.
Really?
Okay, I thought
mean,
it was
yeah.
I thought it was a movie. I thought it was crazy. It was
No,
crazy,
it's a really
and it's a
it's
really
it
great.
is a crazy
girl.
movie.
That's a movie right there,
that's a crazy
and I
movie.
love it. I love it.
I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you again for joining us. As always, we will talk to you guys next week, unless someone needs another dental filling. I'm just kidding. I don't.
Don't you
not for like
dare.
another 2 months or something.
Don't you dare.
I think or something. I don't know. Anyway, as always, you smell that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It
It's a
smells
spray.
good. Well, it smells good.
End the episode.
As always, we've been your hosts, Jess.
And Monica.
Stay safe
And stay spooky.
spooky.